Hey YouTube, it's Earl, and it's time for another tobacco review. Tonight, we're going to be doing some GLP's Caravan. Let's get to it. Okay, so on Saturday or a few days ago, I posted my first impressions of Caravan. So the question is has anything really changed from my first impressions? I think what I basically told you from the last one is I thought maybe there would be some perique in it, but as I smoked it, couldn't detect any, and that it was kind of what I would consider a middle-of-the-road English blend. But before I get ahead of myself, let me read you the tin description and then talk a little bit about its cut, tin aroma, all of that, and I'll start talking about the blend itself. So the tin description. A lovely spice up front mingles with delightfully exotic oriental flavors. The smoke, leathery flavors of Cyprian Latakia weave their way through the smoke assertively, but never in an overbearing manner. A zesty, delicate sweetness punctuates the statement made by the rest of the tobaccos. The finish is lingering, but won't overstay its welcome. And that is our nice little write-up by GLP's on the back of the tin. If you go to glps.com, actually talk about that he really kind of was trying to create a Balkan blend for this, and worked on it quite a bit to find it. But here is the presentation itself. You can see it's a nice ribbon cut. There's plenty of Latakia here. There's a lot of what I would see, red and bright Virginias. And from the description that is on tobaccoreviews.com, and I don't know if their description is slightly different, although very similar to this tin description. So I don't know if the tin description has changed over time. But it mentions air-cured leaf. And generally that means, to me, it means a burley is added to this. And I'll get to that why I think that's probably the case, not just from the air-cured, but from the smoke itself. I do think that there is some burley here in the blend. In the aroma of the tin itself, there's a very nice sweetness. It's got a what I would call an oriental spice going, but there's a little bit of twang, a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of sweetness, and a little just something I never can place my finger on, and I just call it oriental spice. But it's a wonderful aroma to me, and it's changed a little bit since I've opened the tin, and that's one of the things that you should always expect, that when you open a tin and it ages in the open air, it will change a little bit, sometimes open up, and it'd be a little bit slightly different from when you first started smoking it, but it's just a lovely, lovely aroma. Now, in the leaf itself, there is Latakia here, but there's not a ton of it. So it's not a very dark blend. You've seen it yourself in the cut. So I don't, and I would not consider this a Latakia bomb. But with that, let me light up and give you my thoughts. If you look, and probably just given the lighting, you're not going to be able to see it. This is a sandblasted Peterson pipe. It's out of their Arclo series. It is the XL20, which I believe the XL20 shape originally came about from Peterson in the Sherlock Holmes series. I don't know what pipe it was in the Sherlock Holmes series, but it's found its way into some of their regular production on their other lines. So anyway, let me light up here. One of the things that you'll notice about this blend is that there is voluminous amounts of smoke. Good mouthfeel, no problem producing smoke with this blend, which I really enjoy. I know it doesn't affect the flavor, or maybe it does, but it's not a flavor component, but it's something that just makes me feel better when I see billows of smoke arising from my pipe and coming from my mouth as I smoke. I enjoy that. So this produces a good bit of smoke, which makes me suspect that that air-cured leaf is burley. Burley is known for producing a good bit more smoke than, say, a Virginia blend might. But let's dive into the smoke itself. When you first light, you are going to get that wonderful essence of Latakia when you start, but it moves to the background fairly easily and fairly quickly. In my first impressions videos, I said, well, it kind of felt like maybe the Virginias and the Orientals were fighting with each other, not in a bad way, just meaning which one's going to take the lead. And the dominant flavor is the Oriental leaf. So if you are an Oriental lover in English blends, I think this is a great smoke. Because it does have a little bit of spice, but then it moves into kind of maybe some savory components on the back end, and that's probably the Orientals and the burley working together. And that Virginia comes in and brings just a nice hint of sweetness there, and then you have the Latakia that comes in, just kind of accentuates and brings the whole thing back into an English blend. To me, this is a blend I really can see myself on an evening like tonight, when I need to do some pondering, but I don't want to have to necessarily baby a blend, but I don't want a Latakia bomb, so that's all I get, and I want a little bit of complexity. This really hits that marker, if you ask me. In my smoking adventures, I do think I've preferred it out of a billiard than I have a squat wide bowl. Why? Who knows? Maybe it's just because there's so much Oriental in Virginia that just burns better in a billiard shaped bowl. But overall, just a wonderful smoke. So if you're into Balkan blends that would be on the lighter side, so not much Latakia component in there, I think this is a hit for you. If you like English blends that tend to be kind of on that more spicy, savory side, again, that don't have a ton of Latakia, so they're not Latakia bombs, I think that this would be a hit for you. I've enjoyed it. I certainly have enjoyed it more the longer it's been open over these past 4 or 5 days, and I've enjoyed my smokes again out of a billiard. So that really is my review for GLP's is Caravan, if we ever focus. Caravan. There we go. So I would encourage you guys to check it out. I would also, you know, I know that us pipe smokers, we tend to want to kind of smoke and focus on what's new and what's out there, and GLPs generally does a good job of releasing 1 or 2 blends a year, and so it's very interesting to jump in and see the new creations that that he has for us. But I think there's a lot of good stuff in this old line. So I've smoked Odyssey and I posted a review for that. I smoked through my Samara so quick I didn't have time to record a review for that. But Samara, a very good blend as well. And now Caravan, I think it's just excellent. So much so that I'm really going to probably stack up some more of this. I want to see how this thing ages, because it's so, to me, it's such a perfect middle of the road English blend that I think I can hand it to any pipe smoker and that they could appreciate this blend, because it hits all the notes just perfectly. All the tobaccos really combine to do this tobacco, this mixture, just to make it a wonderful, pleasant smoke. I'm not trying to be over the top in my praise. This isn't like a new favorite blend, but I'm telling you, it's up there, and I'm really glad I tried it and find it interesting. So guys, this has been Earl. Y'all have a good night. Talk to you soon.